What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Atruckernamedjay, checking in, man. Um, I have a video that I want to do, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. This video is very um personal to me. You know what I mean? But I feel like it is a video that has to be made. You know what I mean? For two reasons. One, because I've never talked about it. I've never like openly admitted it. I've never, you know, I don't think anyone has ever put me in a position to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And two was because I just asked this on Facebook, and I got such an overwhelming. I posted it on my Facebook group. Truckers Getting Fit Not Fat. I posted it on my actual Facebook page, and I posted it in the group A Healthy Alternative, which if you are interested in fasting, you looking for fasting 101, and you aren't familiar with the Healthy Alternative Facebook group, I strongly advise you go in there and just add yourself. You know, as long as you're not coming in there with no negativity, no nonsense. It's a lot of that going around these days, but that group does a good job in getting rid of that. But as long as you're coming in there and you're willing to be vulnerable, there's no judgment in there. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's a good group to be in, man. I'm glad I found that group, straight up. Shout out to Chris Davis and what he's doing over there. But nonetheless, I asked the question, and that question that I'm going to answer, that I asked was, how did you get so big? And I think when I first posted it, when you hear that question, normally it's in the form of a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody's, you're joking with your friends, or somebody that you don't know is trying to make fun of you or fat shame or whatever. Um, and they'll say like, "Dang, yo, how you get that big?" You know what I'm saying? Or you know, it's just 9 times out of 10 is used in more of a nastier, negative way than positive. Um, but the reality is, a lot of us should ask ourselves that more often. Us obese and morbidly obese people. Me, as much as I hate admitting it, and I guess maybe I've been in denial. Not so much, I knew what I was, but I just never wanted to, I guess, be accountable. Accountability is big when it comes to health, weight loss, and things like that, because before you are anything, you have to be accountable for what you have done to yourself. You have to be accountable for the decisions that you have made. Part of the reason that I feel now, hindsight looking back, that my trucking career didn't quite go the way I would have hoped, was because a lot of situations I wasn't accountable. You know what I'm saying? I was always looking to not so much dish off blame, but just, I don't know, I was just making excuses for myself. You know what I'm saying? Giving myself the benefit of the doubt on multiple occasions. You know what I'm saying? The benefit of the doubt is cool every once in a while, but when you are giving yourself the benefit of the doubt, every situation that flops or doesn't go the way you want, you're not holding yourself accountable, and that's just, that's the characteristics of a coward. Someone who's afraid to deal with their problems head on. Those who are afraid to deal with the repercussions of the choices that they have made. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what I was doing a lot in my trucking career. And I just don't want, and I've been doing that a lot as far as my weight as well, my weight and my health. And I just don't want to continue that trend. I just don't, man. It's an unhealthy trend. It's an unproductive trend. And it's unsafe, honestly. It goes against everything I claim to stand for: being safe, being productive, being positive. It goes against all that. You know what I'm saying? So I was up here being a hypocrite. Call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? I was being a hypocrite, but so like I was saying, I got so many responses And different people were saying different things, trauma, depression, eating disorders. Some people had accidents, and they had to have surgery, and they was bedridden for a long time. Switching job situations, going from hard labor, working labor to an office position. Just a bunch of different things. If you go on the Healthy Alternative page, just type in my name. And you should see all my posts should come out. I post quite frequently in that group now. Um, and it should come up, man. But it was just such an overwhelming. And even on my page, you won't see it on my Facebook because I just don't accept people on my Facebook anymore. That's just not something that I'm willing to do. Maybe what I'll do, what's this say, the 6 minute mark. I'll just post different screenshots of responses that people were putting. And if you want to take the time to read those or just gloss over them, it'll give you some type of idea of just what people was putting in there. But like I said, I never answered that question for myself. I never asked myself. I think somebody put it in the comments on one of my videos a while ago, but I just didn't know if it was someone. I get a lot of negativity in my comments, so I just didn't know if it was someone trying to be funny or if someone was asking, seriously being concerned. I just didn't know at that time. But nonetheless, I'm gonna go ahead and answer that question now. Um, I think part of it is denial. Part of it was laziness. Um, being an emotional eater. And I know some people laugh and joke at that. I just had a conversation with my cousin on Facebook, and he was like, what is an emotional eater?" And it's real, man. Food is stronger than any drug that you can take. Whether weed isn't a drug, but like any pills you can pop, any lean you can drink, any alcohol, food is stronger than all of that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when you are going through a stressful situation, or anything, any type of situation that puts you out of your happy place or your comfort zone, and you become uneasy, food is a way to ease you. You know what I'm saying? At least for me it was. So that's what an emotional eater is. Your emotions dictate how you eat. You don't even have to be hungry. You're just uncomfortable and you're eating. You know what I'm saying? So I think some of it is that. I did a lot of late night eating, a lot of late night junk food. I guess you could say, and I think that's why a lot of people was getting upset at the live feed I did with my man D-Raj on his channel, because I said truck driving. But the reality is I was already morbidly obese before I got in the truck. Trucking just made it worse. But I still doubled down on my point that OTR truck drivers aren't healthy. I'm sorry. 5 truck drivers don't count towards the masses. You know what I'm saying? But that's another topic for another day again. But anyways, I don't know, man. It just, I think accountability was the biggest one. Just not being accountable for what I was doing to myself. Growing up as a kid, being big was like normal. You know what I mean? My family roots are from North Carolina, out the sticks. Not Charlotte, not Raleigh, not places that kind of look like a suburb, if you will, or a small city like Charlotte. I'm talking about Roanoke Rapids, Emporia, where it's you got one 5 or 3 mile radius of shopping centers and stuff, and then after that it's just fields and fields, sticks, back roads. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we come from Southern Eden. We come from everybody being big, everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I would say definitely from birth up until my teenage years, I just thought it was normal. I mean, I'm just like, yo, I'm big, my family big, so what? I definitely didn't understand any the health risks or nothing like that. I was ignorant to that at that time. And in high school, yeah, I got fat jokes a lot, you know what I'm saying? But it was just like, it bothered me in elementary school, and it bothered me a lot in middle school. But I think high school, the way I started coping with it was I started joking back, and that's why I became known as the funny guy. Most people that know me from high school know me as the class clown. I mean, I could joke anybody, anytime, anywhere, any place. Let's get it. You know what I mean? Even if I don't win, you ain't gonna be so eager to come back and joke me because you didn't use up all your good jokes because I didn't. We didn't went toe to toe. You might have beat me, but we went about 9 rounds. You know what I'm saying? So, um, and so that's how I coped with it in high school and early in my adult life, even in my 18, 19, 20, 21, hanging out with friends. It's always easy to crack on the fat guy. Hell, even fat people crack on each other. Obese people, whatever the proper scientific term is, big people, whatever. We always crack on each other as well. It's just I think that was my coping mechanism. Was just joking. And I think that's why, even the way, I was on my YouTube now, as far as trucking related in my interaction with other YouTubers, that's why people call me the quote unquote subliminal king, or, I'm always, because that's what I know. You know what I'm saying? That's my, I bet, we got these jokes. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna throw these shots. Cause that's just what we always done. That's what we always know, and that's our way in handling situations. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how to, do too many things other than that. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, so yeah, so once I did get into my 20s and I did realize that I was bigger, um, I think at that point, my man Deron made a great point um, on the Facebook post, and he said that it was a situation where I knew I was big. At this point, I'm probably like 300 pounds, 315, but I still had like a solid build to me because I played football in school. So it was a lot of people that were bigger than me. Like, I mean, they looked horrible. And some of these, and no disrespect, but some of these people who looked bad weighed less than me. So I think, that's when I started to learn that, muscle weight is heavier than fat weight. And, that caused me being a little heavier. I would look smaller than what I was because of my build. You know what I'm saying? So I use that, and I use that to justify. I use that to justify being as big as I was, because I thought I was just, big swole dude. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, the jokes kind of simmered down at that point. When I'm 21, 22, 23, it really wasn't a lot of fat jokes anymore because, one, everybody just kind of grew up and, they just want how people act. But at that point, I was just like, I was House. You know what I'm saying? That was my nickname in high school, and they follow me to this day. A lot of people still call me House, but because they, I said I was big like a house, and so I just kind of use that, like, okay, cool, big swole dude, cool. You know what I mean? As long as I keep a certain build, it's alright to be this big. Still, again, not thinking about um, the health risk, not thinking about nothing besides that. And it's just so funny how all of this was always connected to people's perception of me. You know what I'm saying? It was never about how I actually felt about myself. It was always about the opinions of how everybody else felt about me. And it's just so funny because, actually, shout out to LaShawn. LaShawn was just making a live feed today. I don't even know if he's finished, but I kind of checked out. But he was talking about how people, I think he was talking more specifically to YouTubers and as far as the YouTube realm, but people look for validation and verification and all them Asians or whatever he was saying. And I think that's what it was for me as well. Like, I was, as long as I felt validated by the people around me, you know what I'm saying, I'm cool. The opinions of the people around me about my size mattered more than how I actually felt about my size to myself. as long as the people around and the in general public accepted me. Yo, he the big swole. He big, but he big, got muscle, and he funny, so he cool. So as long as that's what I was, then I was cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I accepted that image that was given to me by